Kingston.
Hello everyone and welcome to my page. My name is Cassandra Vaynerchuk and I want to talk to you a moment about when producing content and languaging of using your skills in us, me, you, them in conversation. The old way of thinking was to include, like it's a conversation piece of knowing that you are not like them. Your journey is your journey. Their journey is their journey. However, when you're talking to them, you're talking to you. Make sense? So for example, a generation above us, but you're in a room full of millennial Gen Zers, you never say us, you never include them. You only say a generation above me. It's a significant occurrence in today's business world because this generation is not connected to what real work is. And so when you say us, they think that they've done what you've done. They think that they've been where you've been. And it downplays your message and it invites them to act a way that is unfamiliar to you as a leader, to where you then are in a battle of a think tank of them trying to get something from you as if you're friends. So there is a business aspect to this. However, when I speak, it's an awareness game of the maneuvering factor of weaving in and out of conversations, of knowing when not to say, I can't wait to have dinner with you tonight, after he just spoke on specifically speaking to money. When you just said don't produce content based on money value. And then his question is, how much money? Instead of saying, I look forward to having dinner with you, as if he is, it's an ego thing. It'll be interesting to hear what you have to say tonight when we have dinner. Meaning he does not enter into your personal space to block you from your creation when you're actually educating an audience to transform people who are really up to big things. So we've had this discussion a couple times, and this is all lessons in languaging and energy in communities that are merging Gen Z millennials with a generation of zillennials and Gen Xers, because we're pretty laid back and our parents were some of our parents were pretty strict, some of our parents were laid back, but there's this new vibe of it, of inclusivity, which is really funny that this generation is calling out for inclusivity because we are inclusive. But see, they're trying to run us over. And so us as zillennials, Gen Xers must start taking a role in leadership and saying, you're not like us. You're not like us. You have not done the same thing as us. You are not as old as us, and you have not been through the same hard work as us. You literally sat on your butt and you accidentally went viral. And then you started bringing value in the fact that you looked a certain way. And then you started violating people around you. And you're going to put yourself in the same category as me? I don't think so. Your story is your story. My story is my story. And there is no similarities about you and me. There's you over there. And then there's me over here. And then you as a CEO or the leader of a company who's working a business skill, that's the maneuvering of conversation of changing the languaging and the energy attached to the language to communicate that to somebody. And it does take practice. But now in the future, what you'll say, and you'll say, oh, I did that, but now I see how I can fix it. Or repair it. Or transform it. And it usually starts off with the word fix, repair, and then transform. And then all of a sudden you're naturally speaking in a way that's actually empowering to someone and disempowering to someone who deserves the disempowerment. Meaning people need to be put in their place when they're more worried about making money than bringing value to an audience. It's like snake work. No, not you as snake work. They're snaking you. And so these are just a few lessons when you're learning the business strategy. It's not really a strategy though. It's ethics, morals, and values attached to content creation, attached to these young entrepreneurs, attached to being an adult and a parent to a child. Because this younger generation has utilized the internet to manipulate people, and they can really get one over on you in a simple wording of including us, you, and them. And that's why they're focusing on PRONOUNS right now, as they're in the space of trying to create confusion. So consider that at some point you'll be able to utilize that and benefit for your strong building you built as well. And that'll be something for you to discover, always staying within ethics, morals, and value. But as you know, we're working with a lot of demon energy. And when you're working with demon energy, you have to operate on equal playing ground. So what you put out is what you receive. Thank you so much for joining me today on today's TikTok podcast, God Says Hi. I ran some errands today, so I haven't been heavily producing content like I normally do. However, I am also kind of in a lull of what it looks like to produce some massive, heavy duty shift transformative content to softening out into the weekend to not overload and get burnout. And burnout in my space means I could literally make content 7 days a week in the amount of content that I've been producing. However, you as a community are like, some of you need it in a slower pace, because if I don't give it to you in a slower pace and you need to review some of the things I've posted, you start attacking me and then I get really angry. So that's kind of how it looks on a physical, not a physical side, but like an energy side. So if you ever see me get upset, it's because you're attacking me and I'm in defense mode. And so that's the explanation of why some of these videos I'm angry. It's because that's what you were portraying and putting on me. And that's me in defense and bringing out the truth of what needed to be heard. So every day you post content, the stronger you become. And it takes years, like 20 years. I'm not joking you. That's why you cannot fake it till you make it, unless you're trying to pretend to be something you're not. But the reality of those folks is they're just posturing, and they're not in the long game, they're in the short game. Not to mention they're completely miserable behind the scenes. But when the camera's on, they can paint their face and do their hair and all those look awesome on camera. But the reality is they're completely miserable. And it's all in documented form. And if you want to really take a really intricate look, you can actually listen to the words that they're saying, and they tell you everything. They tell you everything they're up to. That's because they're not intelligent. They're jumping off their careers off of other people's shoulders, but they're also only using the surface level of how do I look? And that is not business. That's manipulation. Thank you so much for joining me today, y'all. My name is Cassandra Vaynerchuk, and that was a podcast on language in presentation. Like, follow, and share for more. It's Friday here on this particular day if you're watching this on the moment I'm posting it. So if you're headed on a great weekend, have a great weekend.